It must have just been unplugged enough.
Yeah, I think that was the case for both of them. And we're back live.
Hello.
Hopefully.
Oh, I just painted my belly.
Quit painting yourself. You are not the color of the wind.
I am.
Yeah.
I don't even know what that means.
Me neither. Inquo's just sitting out there.
Just staring at you.
She's like, y'all are in the warm.
It's like, I hate you.
You see me and you do nothing.
There will be hell to pay on your drapes later.
Yeah, basically. And more paint on myself. Lovely. I'm just gonna be painted. It's fine. It's what all the cool kids are doing now.
Yeah, yeah.
Hello, butthead.
Hello.
Not you. Okay, I think I need to make her butt bigger too. Butt needs to extend this way. This is Inkwell, everyone. This is why we put you outside. Come here. Not you, Signy. Placing. Ah, your paws are cold. Ooh! And then she just jumps right off. That's fine.
I'm such a derp.
What? Do you think what I was thinking you
No.
What?
What I just did.
What'd you do?
That would be my spider monkey.
Your spider monkey?
My spider monkey.
I like that. Did you name him?
No, I haven't named him.
What should you name him?
I think it's, well, I don't know. It was a friend from Eva, one of my best friends out in Iowa.
Best friend.
Best friends. She gave him a tracksuit. It's so perfect. I don't know.
So sort of like this, right?
Oh, as a silhouette.
Yeah, just build on it a little more.
Yep. Let it dry completely and then just keep building. Well done. Well done.
Does that dry?
Ba-dum.
I'm such a child.
Yeah. Welcome to the club. Alright, I gotta get serious on this.
On your painting?
Yeah, I've been screwing around.
What?
I'm just fucking off in background and talking shit. I wasn't actually painting.
That'll happen.
Yeah, it's pretty much my life.
Like joking around and not painting.
Yeah.
I think I just accidentally gave her Kim Kardashian.
Kardashian?
Kardashian. Like
Kardashian? Carnation?
Kardashian.
So you gave her a big ass?
Yes.
Is that what you're saying?
Yes.
Okay.
I think so.
It's alright. Like big butts.
You cannot lie.
Yeah, I can.
I guess we should ask an art or do an artist topic of some sort.
Half an hour in, yeah.
Yeah.
Probably should.
Enough with the butt jokes.
But.
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 Damn it.
Sorry.
Yeah, no, I said it, and that's immediately where my brain went to. I guess, like, who was your favorite mentor when it comes to art?
Huh.
Have you had I'm assuming you've had a few, or at least people that have been, like, helping you-ish?
Yeah, I mean, throughout the years, absolutely. Like, there's a lot of artists that I've looked up to and learned a lot from. Yeah, to nail down like a favorite, that's really hard because there's so many.
Is there any that stand out to you?
I mean,
or any lessons?
This is gonna sound like a total it's gonna sound total bullshit,
Like
but it's not. It's the reality. But like my parents for sure.
Aww.
Oh, don't give me that shit.
That's so cute.
But anyhow.
Sorry, go on.
But like yeah, like parents were always awesome. Like they, like both their styles and everything that they've done influenced me dramatically, and they always, kind of pushed me forward, or sorry, sound of a cat rustling through things.
Is that what you think? Okay.
Yeah. But yeah, they always made me push the envelope or encouraged me to go further, and not get comfortable with just one thing and stick with it.
I like that.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, they've always been
You're a little
great
artist guys.
Yeah, great guides, I guess. Driving forces. But yeah, I mean, as far as like so many great artists that I had the opportunity to work with, it's almost impossible to like just name a favorite, or the most influential.
Yeah, that's fair. I mean,
yeah, like what about you?
Well, I mean, that's why I was like, I think I should ask like which one has made the most impact, or like an impact of some sort. But mine is my art teacher, Mr. Reese, in high school.
Yeah.
I had him for all 4 years in high school. In our art program, we had we had the 2D drawing, and then photography, and digital art, or like a graphic art Photoshop class, and a ceramics class. And I was always in Mr. Reese's class, and he was the one that kind of, like, he saw that I was good-ish, and I was already skipping a level, and I did all the art reviews and all the art, like, AP class credits.
Yeah.
And, like, I sent in, like, all 3 portfolios for all art classes, but he was the one that pushed me to do more different types of art, and also get outside my style comfort zone.
Nice.
And, he would call me out on my shit, too. I always like the teachers that call me out on my shit. Like, the ones...
You need that.
Yeah, like, I honestly...
Like, everybody
like,
needs
sometimes
that.
I'm human. Maybe I'll get defensive at first, but then I'll really think about what they think. I try to do my best to be, like... And most of the time, when people are critiquing my work, like I've said before, like, if they point out something, like... I know something's off, and then they point out that exact thing, it helps me much further be like, okay, yeah, it was kind of that, you need to pay more attention to this particular thing.
Right.
And I'll be stubborn about it, but I like the people who will call me out on it and, like, keep doing that. I like that a lot more.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely. I learn a lot more that way. But yeah, Mr. Reese was really cool because he encouraged me to do other art forms, and especially with anime, he's like, oh, the other teachers don't like anime, and for good reason, but he's like, as long as you can make it your own, that's fine, you can do it in here.
That's cool.
And, yeah, and I always had lunch in there most of the time. And there, or astrology.
Astrology?
Yeah, I'd hang out in the astrology room with a couple friends.
Nice.
Because because I didn't like the cafeteria. She's such a bother. I always slept in the ROTC room too. They let me sleep in the little office because in ROTC it's basically like run by the cadets. So there's the major's office, sergeant's office, and then the little lounge for the officers or cadets or whatever. And they always let me sleep in the back room.
Well, that's not exactly the way to build a good leader.
No,
go ahead and sleep, whatever. You're a future leader of your...
I was a damn good leader, thank you.
I'm not saying that you weren't.
I know. But no. That whole thing was funny too, because that definitely did not match up. Well, I see it matching up more now, but everyone was really confused too, because I was an artist kid and an ROTC kid, and I did well in both.
Yeah, what's wrong with that?
Well, the teenager mindset doesn't quite understand balance yet. Maybe. I don't know, because usually people have their one thing or they have their other thing, you know?
Yeah, but so...
And then one is like creative, random, crazy chaos, and ROTC is more of an orderly-ish kind of deal. Like, I actually like the order to it.
Yeah, well, as much as a lot of teenagers don't want to admit it, they crave structure to a certain degree. Mm-hmm. They're not necessarily wanting the structure of their whatever, what's handed to them, you know, what their parents have carved out for them or anything like that, but they're looking for their own structure.
Right.
You know, and yeah, I can see it where, you know, the artist is a little more like free-flowing and artsy and airy-fairy, you know what I mean? There's no groundedness to it. But I think that's just a mindset. The best artists are very grounded and, you know, very structured. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? It's that balance. We all need to find our balance. I mean, I was really into the military and all that stuff, and I wanted to go to the Marine Corps when I was from 13 up to like 17.
I remember you saying that. Yeah. I mean, there's something attractive about it, really.
Well, yeah. And I mean, there's a reason that, you know, the uniforms look the way they do and all that stuff. It's to attract people. I mean, it's the hearts and minds and all that shit.
I definitely would have done that in another life.
Yeah.
Definitely. Would have been scary good at it too.
Yeah, maybe you did.
Maybe I did.
Maybe that's why you're not there now, is because you already did that.
Actually, that was the thinking, because like I learned everything I needed to, and I took a year of ROTC in college, a year and a half about, and I was like, it's either gonna be art or it's gonna be ROTC. I can't do both, because if I do ROTC, it's gonna require all my attention, and I need a lot of work. Mm-hmm. And because I wanted to like be a pilot, if anything, or like be really into the graphic design or photography smart people, but I really needed to. I don't know how to describe it.
That was disjointed, but okay.
Yeah, I know, but
no, I get it.
But yeah, no, I wanted to
more in like the shit. I just had the word. Kind of like promotions, but it's propaganda. I mean, I know that's a horrible word, but that's what it is. It's propaganda. Is that what you're kind of thinking about?
Kinda. I mean, not recruitment. I
wouldn't
want to do that.
You know, like, well, no, not recruiting, but like with the graphic design in the military, that's propaganda to a degree. It's advertising.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
You know.
I was like, what does propaganda mean exactly?
Advertising.
Basically, that's it.
Yeah, it's like.
Google it. No, I'm joking.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, shit.
Google it. I wish my Google would respond that way. That'd be kind of cool.
I prefer Oogle.
Oogle?
Oogle.
Oogle.
oogle. You know how like you oogle a girl? You like stare or oogle at something? Like that's what my search machine would be. Oogle.
Oogle.
Oogle. I need puffy nipples and Pornhub.
Oh, propaganda. Information, especially of a biased or misleading nature, used to promote or publicize a particular political cause or point of view.
Yeah, military. No, that's the word for in World War II. That's what they would use for the other side. So like we had a propaganda machine, just like the Nazis or the Japanese had a propaganda machine.
Propaganda machine?
So they would say shit like, the Americans eat babies. Don't let them come. Fight for your way of life. You know what I mean? And then the Americans would say, fucking, Adolf Hitler is a monster. Not that he wasn't a monster. He was. No, he was totally a monster. Don't get me wrong. But they would just, make up shit. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Or make things sound worse than what they really were. Like, if we don't stop them, nobody will. And just shit like that. So that's the propaganda machine. Like,
mm-hmm. But don't we need a military and all that?
Huh?
Like, isn't that necessary?
Military?
Well, like,
or propaganda?
The propaganda.
No, propaganda is not necessary. I mean, it's necessary to the military a lot of times, like to get hearts and minds.
Isn't that promotion?
Yeah, but if it's in a misleading way.
How are they misleading?
Americans don't eat babies.
Yeah, of course we don't eat babies.
Yeah, so if you're advertising that we're eating babies and that we're just looking to destroy. Oh yeah, I can't think of one off top of my head.
Because I'm sure the military is not showing commercials of people eating babies.
No, I'm not saying now. I'm saying World War II.
Yeah.
And in that world, like, there's a lot of fucked up shit that was advertised, and that was just like, that time was not exactly great. I mean, I don't know how to explain. Like, it was just shitty. Like, honestly, like, everybody wants to say, oh, it's the greatest generation of Americans came from World War II, and it's because they fought in the World War II. Okay, I'm cool with that. But that was also the world where they had segregation and fucking sexism from hell, and women were just barely able to vote. Like, it's kind of fucked up. It's a fucked up world.
Well, yeah.
At that point. And I'm just saying.
Well, I think America was probably more I know we were doing way better shit than most other places. I think that's the thing, though.
What do you mean?
Like, so I think, like, all those issues that you just brought up,
mm-hmm.
It has existed, it still exists everywhere, or not everywhere, except in America. America has more of the rights for everyone to do their own thing. And yeah, it was fucked up in the beginning, but everyone was, like, doing that. Like, slaves were pretty much everywhere. There were white slaves at that point, too.
Sure.
And so America started getting better, and it still ain't perfect. There's a lot of things that could be done to make it 10 times better.
Yeah, it's a super young country.
Yeah. So, I'm just like, I don't know.
But
America's fucked up, but it's less fucked up than most of the world.
I think there's a lot of places out there that we don't know about.
Maybe.
You know what I mean? Like,
but I know not all places allow like the freedom of speech and
sure
all of our like rights that we have here.
Yeah,
and like you could be openly weird and we're profiting off of creative ventures instead of having to do hard work and labor now.
Yeah, absolutely. But I think that's in a lot of other places as well.
Some of them, sure.
I mean, until you actually go out and start exploring, you don't know for sure. Because if you only believe what say your government or media, which kind of propaganda, in my opinion, only in my opinion.
Depends on which view you're viewing it from.
Well, it depends on what you choose to believe.
I mean,
Like, if you believe everything that the news or the media tells you, then, I mean, you're fucked.
nah, but that's why you get all points of view.
Or you go out and find out for yourself.
That too.
That's really the only way. I mean, you can do research and find out some things, but until you have you actually go somewhere and experience it and meet locals and hang out with them and do the thing, you can't necessarily know what really happens or what's really going on.
I guess it's trusting the other or trusting whatever consciousness you're following or point of view you're following.
Yeah, I tend not to trust too much though, because there's always an angle. If there's a way to manipulate, it happens.
Yeah, but there has to be some people not manipulating.
Sure, I know. I'm not saying that everybody manipulates, like every individual, but if you're in it for money or something, if there's
50% chance you're fucked with your media.
Yeah. I would, my opinion, I would bump that up to about 75 to 80%. But
Okay.
that's
I
me.
can see that.
But that's me.
Mm-hmm. No, actually, I could see that. Especially with TV. Blech.
Well, yeah,
I like
and
YouTube more.
I mean, and TV.
It's a dying medium.
Yeah. Well, and they have to get it out as fast as they possibly can. That's their main thing is, trying to get
Shock factor value.
Yeah, where it's like, we got to get this story first, because if we don't get it first, somebody else will, and then we lose the ratings or whatever.
Have you ever watched that movie with what's his face, the Donnie Darko guy? He's like a reporter, or he goes to crash sites and gets the best videos. Have you seen that movie? No, I don't know.
I have not.
Can't remember the name.
I can't
of it.
say that I have.
But yeah, no, that was the whole premise of the movie was this guy who's really good at his job was just going up to extreme accidents and looking at crime around town, and this news place would pay a lot of money for the best footage.
Oh, okay, yeah.
But it was because there's value in it, that shocking factor.
Yeah.
Or it got more views, that's why they paid a lot more.
Yeah. And that happens. I mean, I could only imagine it happens.
Yeah. I don't know how you'd fix that. I guess that's just understanding your sources wisely. And like you said, I guess just understanding you know nothing.
Yeah, I mean, the more that you know, the more you know nothing kind of situation. But you also do your research. You know what I mean? You can only trust somebody so much until you follow through and do the research.
Mm-hmm.
Go through multiple sources and then, basically dig through all the shit and find out for yourself. Unless you are, boots on the ground kind of person where you're like, all right, I'm going to go check this out for myself.
Sounds like too much work. I'd rather sit and paint.
I was actually just kind of thinking, and here I sat on my ass painting.
This is what we do.
Yeah.
We just sit and think bullshit.
Goddamn bullshit.
Goddamn. I don't know. I have a much positive view of the world. I do.
Oh no, I totally. I want to.
I'm actually hopeful.
Yeah.
But more in the sense that I can control my own destiny, so therefore I will. That is the only thing I should really stress about.
Yep. No, I totally back that completely.
I'm interested and I'll keep tabs on things, but gotta live my life, man.
Yup. I'm with you 100% with that.
I got goals. I want that yellow house next door in San Marcos. Got a place to be. And that's heaven. I'm just reaching down there. Or reaching down. I am
God
Texan.
damn Texas.
Heaven is down there too.
Good luck.
Right? You're going the wrong way. No, I'm used to this weather.
Yeah, no, I'm very hopeful and I'm positive and all that good stuff. But I also am not ignorant in the fact that
You ain't ignorant.
everybody is as honest as I am. You know?
Mm-hmm.
Like it's good to be positive and hope for the best and all that good stuff, but I also know that not everyone has my best interest in mind. So I'm very wary of what they give me. And only ingest after I do my own assessment.
Yeah, that's fair.
You know, like the world is a beautiful place and full of beautiful people. But there's also murderers in there. You know what I mean? So it's like I treat everybody, accordingly. Like I give everybody like the best.
You're just not naive.
Yeah, exactly. Like I'm not gonna let somebody fucking cut me out, and be like, oh yeah, a stranger, fuck yeah, you just come over and sleep in my house.
Go in this dark alley? Sure.
Yeah.
Pull down my pants. What?
You're like, okay, I guess. Nothing bad's gonna happen to me because I'm positive. Mm-hmm. And then I wake up 4 hours later in a cheap motel in a bathtub full of ice and one of my kidneys missing.
Right. I did hang out with a homeless man last Christmas, though.
Yeah?
Yeah, I went to an Indian dance with him.
Oh, yeah, you were telling me about that.
That's as naive as I'll get, I think.
I mean, sounded cool.
It was cool.
I think you have to be open to opportunities.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? But
that was
but you trust your gut. Like, if you don't feel right, like, it's not right.
Right. And I've definitely had, like, experiences in both areas of, like, having a really good time with strangers and then it's like, I should have trusted my gut on this one and not, like, gone along. It's usually the gut factor. Once I feel the gut factor, then it's like, Rrr. But I try to separate my fear voice and my gut voice, which is hard because fear can prevent me from doing something new a lot of the times when I need to.
Mm-hmm. Well, and you're also...
But gut, it's more of a... I don't know. I've been better at identifying it. I just know.
Yeah, it takes time
like,
to
it's that
discern.
first thought. Whereas, like, the fear part, it's like, yeah! And then it's like, well...
It takes a little bit of time to, discern what is, just like fear-based thinking and what is actually like, this isn't a good idea, like, at all.
Yeah.
Don't do this. Do not put that in your mouth.
That is not candy.
Yeah.
It's a Tide Pod. This is my ultimate question.
They look so delicious, though.
Dude, I was thinking of I opened up the packet today for the dishwasher, and then I realized there was a thing in there already. So there's an extra one on top of the drawer.
Because I prepare. No.
I know. No, I know. I didn't see it. I just like ripped it open no matter what. But
yeah.
I was looking at it and I was like, I feel like this would taste really good. It reminded me of one of those like I felt like it would taste like the Smartie candies where they like the nice sugary like dissolving thing. I was like, no. I I was like, damn.
You had to stop yourself from eating it.
I mean, it was introduced into my head. I could not think about it.
Oh, shit.
I mean, I'm not that dumb enough to do it.
No, I know you're
Trust
not.
me.
I know you're not.
Definitely not that type, but fuck.
I know you're not.
My millennial will show me.
Fuck. Tuck your millennial back in.
Put that thing back where it came from.
It fell out. Oh, jeez. Fuck, I gotta start doing laundry now. Can't let you around the fucking Tide Pods.
I won't eat it, I promise. I swear. Actually, the Tide Pod stuff I don't understand as much. I think it's the color part.
They look like gummies. Like, I
That's
get it.
True. Okay,
I get
I
it.
see
Like
that. I'm not much of a gummy person. I think that's why. Gummy.
Oh.
Your Instagram out?
Yep. I just looked over and I was like, oh.
Well, it's 30 minutes on this, and we did 20 minutes before. Want to go another 10 on here?
Yeah, we can go another 10.
10?
10.
10.
10.
That was not.
What?
I made that noise to indicate a burp, and I didn't burp, and I was like laughing at myself.
And then
I
you
was
burped?
gonna, yeah. I was gonna talk, and then I burped. And it came. Ew, I think I tasted a little bit of the bread. Gross!
Yeah, whatever.
Nasty.
As long as you didn't taste bread from like a week ago.
Oh no, that would be off.
I'd be like, brush your teeth.
Damn, girl.
Damn,
You
girl.
funky.
You gross. You gross and stuff. You seeing anybody?
Let's see. Damn it, I think I might have to move the full face forward. Maybe make the lips bigger.
I like the face on it. I really like the construction of the face. It looks good.
Yeah, I really like the lips and everything. Like building onto it a little more too. Yeah, it's not bad. Actually, it's a lot better now, but
I would...
it's just the nose. I think that's bothering me.
Why?
And I don't know. It's off. And I can't tell why.
It's because the end of it is blunt.
This?
Yep.
But sometimes they are. Hold up. Look that way. Well, yours is rounded.
I have a very fat German nose. Like, you can have it upturned. Maybe that's what it is. And you're probably looking at the dark up against it.
Maybe I should like color this in a little.
Yeah, color in all the way around it, and you'll get to see like a true...
The face. Yeah.
Yeah. Because sometimes that's really hard to discern.
Yeah, that's very true.
I'd say, if anything, I would cut maybe a bit off of her chin. Maybe.
Yeah.
Like, round it down. Yeah, maybe not. I wouldn't cut it back. Yeah. Like... maybe bring that straight back a little bit.
Like this way. Or like some light.
Like, yeah, use a little bit of light.
So
Keep going. Like, your chin line is really good on it. I would bring that.
Oh, the
piece,
little neck
and
part?
Then, yeah, and then bring it straight back, like
okay.
right on.
So like the lightest purple. Maybe this.
Yeah. Maybe not. Yeah. Because you also have to think that you're going to have to change the position of her shoulders a little bit.
Yeah. That's
Because, like, look when I look sideways. See how unnatural that looks? And how much this is all, like... So, like, that is, like, kind of, like, more of her face, right? If you
Yeah.
notice, this shoulder is closer to you. This shoulder is cocked out.
Go the other way. Oh, it's more down. I see what you're saying.
Yeah, because like this shoulder is closer to you because my whole body is shifted. My top
So
is shifted.
this one's higher and this one's lower. I think. I'm gonna paint you like one of my friend's girls.
Motherfucker. That's my line. Ink wells.
Shit, I should have used white, but whatever.
But like, get it down. You know what I mean? You're good though, 'cause you can cut all that stuff in later.
Yeah. Yosh.
Yes. Yes.
God, I have a lot of laundry to do tonight.
You and me both.
And I need to figure out what I need to wear tomorrow. He said fall colors. I think I have a few things like that.
Well, since you're talking about fall colors, why don't you explain why?
For the photo shoot?
Yeah, we're still recording, correct?
Oh yeah, that's right, sorry. I'm doing a photo shoot tomorrow. First of probably many. Trying to get out of my comfort zone / get better content. And it's funny because I've talked to, when I met up with the girl photographer, Anna.
Mm-hmm.
I'm excited for her. She's on Wednesday. But I was talking with her about it, and I was like, yeah, I notice on Instagram that a lot of people like a lot more of my photos. Like, that usually gets 150, no matter what. So, and it's usually like 180 or so on self-portrait photos, which is a lot considering my other content and stuff. So I was like, as much as I hate to say it, I'm trying to grow my Instagram, become better with it, and I think people like seeing.
So you're gonna be one of those girls.
But I know, and shut up, because that's exactly why I didn't like doing it. I actually told her, I was like, I absolutely hate putting pictures up of myself. In fact, I was one of those people that was like, whenever the family or friends took photos, I was like, don't show it to me. I don't like how I look. I usually don't know what I'm doing. So I just usually, I don't know. Because I don't like being judged by my looks. I want to be judged by my art.
No, I totally get that.
And that was like a really big dilemma. And it's still a little stingy when people are like, oh, I want a female artist and blah, blah, blah. And I was like, but what about my stuff?
Yep.
But most of the time, luckily, I do have a good style and something that's me,
mm-hmm.
that I like, and that people seem to seem to respond well to.
Mm-hmm.
So, but in order to get to my goals, I need to utilize every aspect. And I know
mm-hmm.
that using my girly charms.
But
it's also good because I want to get to the point where I am known to people / also like connect with people in a whole different way and get to the goals and like get more clients and be seen a little bit more and be able to have a little more freedom to do what I want and people know me kind of deal. So,
mm-hmm.
and I think people really respond well to pictures of people just because it's more of a connection that way. It's a human connection rather than a inanimate object, which I'm hoping to accomplish the same thing with paint night, like showing the artists' faces and like their artwork and exactly that one. But yeah, but no, I'm trying to expand that. Plus, it's one of those things like social media. that I've realized here too. It's one of those pills I'm gonna have to fucking swallow and just kind of use to my advantage. And you know what? I am actually kind of having fun with it. I think it's gonna be interesting. I would like to know how to pose in pictures properly. Honestly, I look like a derp most of the time. I don't know what I'm doing. I can't. My one eye twitches and my smile. I'm always awkward. I have the double chin because I'm like not doing the right angle. But it'd be good because I think it would push me and stuff. So I'm excited.
Yeah, that's good.
And I notice a lot of, and the reason I'm doing it too is because I notice a lot of my artists that I look up to, like Ryan Ashley and Miriam Larpini and all these female tattoo artists, and they're freaking badasses, but they do photo shoots and stuff, and I really like that aspect about them because it adds like a really cool character to the behind the markings of paintings. There's this awesome person, you know?
Yeah, I suppose.
So.
Oh, that's good. You should do that.
Blech. That one was a little wet, but. But,
use what you have.
Yeah, and that's like what I've been trying to come more to terms with lately, and I'm ready. I can do it. I've been reaching out. The universe is telling me it's time, so I'm just gonna do it and see where it leads me.
There you go.
It hasn't steered me wrong yet.
That's why
definitely beaten me up the whole way, but but it's good. It's good. I needed it. I needed a timeout spanking experience. That sounded really dirty. But
that's why I bang old rich women. I'm not good for anything else. If there's any rich women out in the audience that want to get
Toby's
banged by me, hey.
Joking, I swear. I swear.
Depends on how much money.
No. You could put your genitalia on the internet for all I care. But no other person's touching you.
I don't think anybody on the internet wants to see my genitalia.
Yeah, we should wait until we actually get a big following. It's like, donate to charity to see Toby's.
Say what?
Something like, if we reach like $10,000 for this water project, we'll show Toby's naked butt or something. I don't know.
And they'll be like, I'll pay you $10 not to show his ass. And be like, sold.
Hell yeah, that'd be funny. Let's see.
I think I'm gonna do a giveaway.
A giveaway?
Yeah.
Of your butt?
For this painting, actually.
Oh, you should. I think that'd be awesome.
If I can get it done in the next couple days, I want to do like a giveaway.
We should do it on the paint night page.
Yeah.
And your page too. We could track them both. But that'd be really awesome.
Yeah, I'll need your help with that stuff.
I got you. Usually what I do or the one formula I did that I thought was kind of nice was you announce the giveaway, but the rules are you have to tag 2 friends and you have to be sure you're following you, and we could say and paint night, and you have to repost and share on your own page. Yeah, and then we'll just look through and pick a few or do the randomize thing. There's like an app that like picks it out for you.
Cool. Yeah, I figured that there was an app involved. But yeah, I think that's what I'm gonna do, and then do it for winter solstice, which is the 22nd.
Ooh, hell yeah!
So like I can announce it.
Winter solstice style. Fuck yeah, that would be dope.
And then do on the winter solstice.
Weird witchy corner.
Go ahead and do the whole like follow, tag, repost, touch my butt.
Touch your butt.
Walk around in a circle for 3 times. weird stuff. Anyhow, but do that on the 21st, and then on the 22nd or 23rd, we'll announce a winner.
Okay, that sounds really fun.
And then somebody will, for Christmas, will get a fucking painting.
22nd or 23rd?
23rd is Christmas Eve, yeah.
24th.
Or, no, 24th, because the 25th is Christmas, right?
Yeah, I don't know if doing it one day would work, but it might work for you. You have more followers than I do, and we could tag a bunch of things, and I think it will work. We'll get a good photo and everything. But anywho,
Yeah.
we are at 45 minutes. I guess we should close up around here, right?
Yeah, that would be good. We gotta
Do laundry. Laundry. Because I am literally out of clothes. And it's cold as fuck. And I don't like smelling / having pet hair all over my clothes. So.
I know all. Yoda agrees. Funny joke! Sorry.
I fucking love Game Grumps. I'm gonna draw them. I need to draw them too. But anyway, do you want to do close out Yoda voice?
Thank you for following and subscribing. May the podcast be with you.
Podcast.
Podcast?
Podcast.
Podcast love it is.
Thanks for joining us. We'll see you on Wednesday with possibly a guest, hopefully this time.
Maybe.
We'll announce it.
Thanks for visiting podcast. Paint Night Podcast Bullshit Shit Show Sunday. A wreck it is.
And good night.
Good night.